Okay. Yeah. Shall we start, Dean sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Dr. Jintu, you may start, please.
Good evening, all. On behalf of Department of Commerce, Vellore Institute of Technology, I extend my warm welcome to you all for our 7-day workshop on enhancing research skills in social sciences and humanities. I request Dr. Geeta ma'am, Dr. Geeta R, head of the department, to give welcome address. Ma'am, please. Ma'am.
Thank you, Jintu, Professor Jintu. Thank you so much. So, very good evening, one and all who present here. Knowledge is power. Education is a promise of progress in every society. I feel honored to welcome you all, the participants, and my faculty members, research scholars, for taking part in this important workshop. I'm sure that you will all will feel enriched with knowledge after completion of this event. I welcome you all once again to the workshop. Hope that you all will have the great time ahead. Thank you all. On behalf of management and staff, students at the Department of Commerce, SSL, VIT, I am very glad to welcome our resource person, Dr. Bijay Prasad Kushwala, Assistant Professor, VIT Business School, Vellore, who has got his special and expertise in the field of research. I am also glad to welcome our Dean, Dr. M. Manokaran, Associate Dean, Dr. Selvam, for their constant approval and support to conduct such a vibrant program. I also welcome and appreciate Dr. Motion Khan, Jintu, and our research scholars Deep Lakshmi, Angit, and Kritika were pillars of the grand program who were working behind the screen right from the inspiration with us. Also extend my welcome to all the faculty members of SSL and research scholars, students for accepting our invitation and who are eagerly awaiting for this noteworthy session. Practice is a soul of knowledge. I hope participants would practice the steps which you teach and trench us and apply them in their practice. Once again, I warm welcome to everyone seated here. PhD callers, I encourage you all to actively participate in the lecture, to ask a question and engage in discussion with our guest. This is a wonderful chance to gain knowledge and value, expand your network. Thank you once again. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I request Dr. Manoharan M, Dean, School of Social Sciences and Languages, for the presidential address. Sir, please. Sir.
Thank you, Dr. Jintu. Associate Dean, Dr. Selva. Resource person, Dr. Bijay Prasad Kushawa. Organizers of this event, Dr. Moshin Khan, Dr. Jintu, Head of the Department, Dr. Geeta, faculty members, and my dear participants, research scholars, faculty members from all over the country. This is a wonderful initiative. We have got participation from across the country, and as participation in the sense the candidates registered for this 7-day workshop, as well as the resource persons also from across the country we do have. See, for the sake of the participants here, so Vellore Institute of Technology, you all know it's one of the leading technical education provider in the country. And see, we have got 4 campuses across the country. And as far as the ranking is concerned, we are number 8 in the university category and 7 in the engineering institutions category, and VELLORE Institute of Technology is ranked 11th in terms of research among all the institutions in the country, and we stand at the 17th in overall category within the country. For an academic institution, ranking and accreditation, all these things have become very necessary in this, in current scenario. So we have to compete at a global level with most of the leading institutions across the country, across the world. The main criteria in the ranking and accreditation bodies, matrices and requirements is the research component. You all know that, which is having a considerable weightage apart from our routine teaching and learning things. So, as far as this research is concerned, this research output is concerned, it's supposed to be with a very with high quality, as well as it should be in a sustainable manner. So having a sustainable research output with high quality is a very challenging task nowadays. Ranking agencies are demanding publications which are ranked in Scopus Index, that then Web of Science in Q1, Q2 categories and all, publications in journals with impact factors. All these things have become mandatory in some of the leading institutions like ours, and that only will maintain the sustainability in producing quality research output. So a good quality research means, first of all, it's supposed to have novelty in its idea, and the researchable idea is supposed to have merit, and it should have good quality. And quality in data and analysis is the need of the hour, and without that, a good quality article won't come out. And deployment of appropriate technology, that is methodology, that is also one of the important things. So for all these things, if you see the topics which have been sequenced for the 7 days of this workshop on enhancing research skills in social sciences and humanities. So you will come to know that the right from the literature review and the fundamental statistics, and to the advanced level using smart PLS and factor analysis, etc. So all these things are most of the topics are at very advanced level, and which are essentially required to bring in quality in all the research output of the participants. So at this juncture, I extend my warm greetings and welcome to all the participants and the resource persons for this 7-day program. I extend my word of appreciation here for conducting this, for planning and scheduling this through online, and as well as blended mode for our internal participants. 7-day workshop on enhancing research skills in social sciences and humanities. I should place it on record my word of appreciation to the organizing committee members, head of the department, Dr. Geeta, Dr. Moshin Khan, and Dr. Jintu, members of Department of Commerce, School of Social Sciences and Languages, VIT VELLORE. And I should extend my warm, my word of appreciation to our associate dean, Dr. Selvam, who is part of this initiative on all the time. So once again, on behalf of VELLORE Institute of Technology, School of Social Sciences and Languages, Department of Commerce, I extend my warm greetings and welcome to all the participants. Definitely, no doubt, this is going to be a wonderful learning for all the 7 days, which will enhance your research skills. And year after, the focus on research will be more at your end. And I should appreciate and thank all the resource persons, especially the resource person of the day today, Professor Bijay Prasad Kushawa. My greetings and welcome to you. Thank you for accepting my invitation, Professor, from our end. So I wish this 7-day workshop a grand success. Once again, I wish all the very best. Wishing you all the best. Thank you.
Jintu, please unmute.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your great words. Now I request Dr. Selva, Associate Dean, School of Social Sciences and Languages, to give an overview about the workshop. Sir, please.
Thank you. Good evening to one and all. Have a good day. Beloved Dean, Dr. Manogaran, and convener of the workshop, respected resource persons, for the 7 days workshop. Respected Dr. Geeta, Head Department of Commerce, SSL. Respected coordinators, Dr. Mohsin Khan, Dr. Jindu. Respected faculty members belongs to Commerce, SSL, and faculty belongs to other institute, colleges, and also the research scholars from VIT and other institutions. A very warm greetings to one and all. It gives me immense pleasure to propose overview of the 7 days workshop for researchers and practitioners on enhancing research skills in social sciences and humanities. Overview: the 7 days workshop starts from today, 17th June 2023 to 23 June 2023, between 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. through blended mode. We have eminent resource persons from reputed institutions. Day 1, the topic is systematic literature review. The resource person who is going to deliver the lecture is Dr. Bijay Prasad, Assistant Professor, VIT Business School, VIT VELLORE. Thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation. The day 2, the topic is fundamentals of statistics. Under that, introduction to SPSS, importing data, data coding, manipulation, transformation, and descriptive statistics. The research person is Dr. Masood H. Siddiq, Professor and Head, Department of Statistics, University of Lucknow. Thank you, sir. The day 3, the topic is inferential statistics. Under that, basic significance testing, parametric test and a non-parametric test and its significance. The resource person is same Dr. Masood H. Siddiq, University of Lucknow. Day 4, the topic is multivariate regression and logistic regression analysis. The resource person is Dr. Masood H. Siddiq, University of Lucknow. The day 5, the topic is SEM using smart PLS with hands-on training. The resource person is Dr. Muhammad Jasim, Assistant Professor, VIT Business School, VIT. The day 6, the topic is PLS SEM using smart PLS with hands-on training. The resource person is Dr. Muhammad Jasim, VIT Business School, VELLORE. Thank you, sir. Thanks for accepting our invitation. Today, the research scholar who have attended this meeting will definitely learn PLS, because in any research thesis, most of the research scholars try to include SEM. If SEM is included, PLS is smart, SEM is included, the thesis speaks more volumes. So the participant definitely learn how to apply SEM using PLS. And the day 7, the topic is EFA and CFA. I think the factor analysis, the resource person is Dr. P. Murugan, Assistant Professor, University of Hyderabad, will deliver the lecture on this topic. The main aim of this workshop to familiarize academicians, practitioners, and researchers with the statistical research tools and techniques, with a special focus on the software SPSS. This workshop will definitely augment the skill of the participant to use SEM using smart PLS and enhance their horizon of their research work. The knowledge of modern technique applied to research is imperative for quality work, and this 7 days workshop aims to give comprehensive insight into those and enable researcher and academician to apply these techniques rightly. Today, it is also a proud day to Department of Commerce, SSL, for organizing such a wonderful 7 days workshop on SPSS statistical tools. And finally, I would like to convey my sincere thanks to Dean, organizer, especially the co-organizers for the workshop, because without their support, coordination, definitely this 7 days workshop will not be able to complete. Thank you one and all. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, dear learners, we are privileged to have Dr. Bijay Prasad, Assistant Professor of VIT Business School, as a resource person for today. Dr. Bijay Prasad is a faculty for digital marketing and consumer behavior, and he is an expert in bibliometric analysis. He published more than 30 journals, research articles in various reputed journals, and have a citation of more than 600. Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining with us. We are eagerly waiting for your valuable information and insight you are about to share with us. Sir. Thank you. Please welcome, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Well, let me share my screen. So, my dear participants, welcome to this 7 days of workshop on various qualitative and quantitative tool. Okay, before I proceed, I just want to know that how many types of literature review we have. I think chat box you can use to answer the types of literature review. In the chat box, you can give me your answer. Narrative literature review, yes. Quickly, so that you can save time and you can learn more. Name I want Thomas, Dr. Thomas, bibliometric, theoretical. Very good. See, there is no limitation. If you ask me, there is no limit of the varieties of systematic literature review or literature review categories of paper. You can write, say, except the empirical study, whatever the note you are writing or the summary of various literature, published, unpublished, editorial notes, research notes, that all are even blogs, the quotation of different people, all are your literature review. Okay. Now, why we call it as a systematic literature review? So let us start with that point, that why it is called as a systematic review. Systematic review or systematic literature review. In systematic literature review, you are going to follow a scientific method to summarize the published or unpublished research papers or any documents. That's why I say I will be using documents, because research paper are only the empirical or in the form of articles. But there are many things that I told you, editorial notes are there, research notes are there, blogs overview, the interview of various experts also, if you are publishing, that is also literature review, or the review of literatures or review of different views. That all are your systematic review. But when you scientifically presenting these things or conducting the review of these all published or unpublished documents, then it becomes your systematic review. So according to Margaliot, that a review that is conducted according to clearly stated scientific research method and is designed to minimize biases and errors inherent to traditional narrative review, that is your systematic review. See, I'll not go much on the theory, though the session will be mostly theory. I will be also showing you some process that how we are going to extract the articles for the review. But before that, we should understand, because many of the participants which maybe just now started their PhD or first time they are starting to write some academic articles. So we should understand why we should go, what is the significance of literature review. For a scholar who is just entering into writing the research paper, for them, they should start with the literature review only. Because from the point of experience and the point of quantity of knowledge that you have in that field, particular research domain, it is very low when you enter for the research. So that once you go with the systematic literature review of all the published or unpublished items of that field, you will have a very good knowledge of that domain. And once you have a good knowledge, after that, you will be clear about that what you are going to study for your PhD or for the article that you are planning to write. So the significance of SLR for managers or for the researchers may be that, see, everyone does not have a time to go through all the articles, right? Maybe in the last 5 years, 10 years or 20 years, there may be 100 of publication and I may not be able to go and read all the articles. But if I read one systematic literature review article, which is conducted for the last 5 years or 10 years studies, from that I can get the overview of the study, their outcomes, their recommendations, their findings. Easily I can understand in a 10 to 15 or 20 page of article, which it will be easy for a researcher also and for the decision makers to read and enhance or add on into their existing knowledge. Kevin and Chung has said that when you go for systematic literature review, it will minimize the biasness. The individual biasness or even a researcher biasness, it will minimize because you are following a particular scientific method of writing or conducting a systematic literature review. You are following some protocol which are very specific, and it also used to determine which study will be included and which are excluded from your literature review. In a particular research area, there may be thousands of articles available, but you are not going to review all because many of them may not be relevant for your study. And for that, you are going to exclude many of the articles to make your systematic literature review more precise, more explicit. And when you take out or when you have a key finding of that review, it will be more explicit and precise. And for that only, that you should go for the systematic, always go for the systematic literature review. Why SLR is necessary? The systematic literature review is necessary that you have a large number of published materials and it is practically very difficult to go through all the documents, right? And a person, if individual is not going through all the documents, then or all the published articles, then that person will be out of or outdated, you can say, having the not updated information. Okay. There are many studies which are having the contradictory findings, conflicting conclusion. Okay. There are many studies which may have conducted on a very limited sample, but they have a different findings. Okay. So the SLR will help you to overcome from these problems. It will provide up-to-date information and in what are the conditions these studies have been conducted to the reader. Further, why few study have a different finding some has a different finding, why there is a contradictory finding, in what context those studies have been conducted. So this all will help you to know the findings that are conflicting or contradictory, the reason of it, what are the methodology they have used, what are the sample size they have used. So based on that, you can get or you can take informed decisions as a decision maker. Now the key characteristics of SLR. So many of you might have already written systematic literature review paper, but you might have missed many of the things which this will help you to understand. And in the future, whenever you are going for academic writings or SLR paper writing, your paper should have these things. Always, the title and objective should be very clearly stated. There many a times, just to make the title very sophisticated, people change the main theme of that paper, and the reader normally we select the document. The first is the title. Based on the title, we decide whether I am going to read this paper or not, and then we go for the abstract and the objective of the paper. So whenever you are writing or deciding the title and the objective, it should be very clear and motivating to the readers. They should get motivated by reading the title and the objectives, that yes, there is something novel that I am going to get if I read this article. Then the next should be comprehensive strategy should be followed to search the relevant studies, whether it is unpublished or published. Now, the published documents you may find, the quality documents only I am talking, you may find in a various database, like we have your Scopus and Web of Science database. From there, we can get the list of the documents. Those are published and indexed in these databases. Those who are not published, such as the thesis or dissertation, then the report of various agencies, which may not be published but may be available in their department or in their database. So you have to look at all those studies which are very relevant to for your study. You should not miss any such study which are very relevant, and that's why you should go for a comprehensive or formulate a comprehensive strategy to search the relevant articles. Then explicit and justified criteria for the inclusion or exclusion of any study. I'll show you this on maybe Scopus database will access, and I'll show you that how you can apply the exclusion and inclusion criteria and what are the logic you have to put, so that many a times your research paper may be rejected based on the inclusion or exclusion criteria. If it is not proper, then reviewer may give you the terms and some of the rules or quote you that these things you have not followed, and that's why your research is or your review is not complete. Kindly include these papers also which you have missed out, or follow these guidelines and then rewrite your paper and submit it. So you have to do again the same thing, so it will be duplication of the work. So therefore you should justify each of the criteria that you are taking for inclusion and exclusion of any of the research articles. Then the next characteristics must be the clear presentation of characteristics of each study included and analysis of methodological quality. Okay, so now I'm coming to, there are the major types of SLR. One is that you can go with the systematic literature review, which is the there are some methods, TCM or TCCM, we call it as. So you can go with the theory, concept, or methodology, or theory, concept, context, and methods. That is one approach. Okay, there are other ADU approaches there. There are many approach. So you can take this approach and then conduct SLR. Another is that you can go with bibliometric analysis. Okay. Third one is you can go with meta-analysis. Okay. So normally the published SLR that you will see, these are of more in the form. The fourth is also in a practice wherein you are going to read the blogs and the interview of the various experts, and you are going to develop one conceptual paper. Okay, so that conceptual paper is also a form of your SLR, but most of the content that you are going to use, that will be unpublished there, but it may be publicly available, but unpublished documents. And based on your experience also, you can write some of the conceptual review papers. But the publishable chance or the probability of getting such things published is low if you are not following the SLR protocols. If you do not follow, then that is a very difficult to publish it. I'll show you some of the sample of such papers that I am quoting now, that how they have written and published it. Then when we call it as, I think, yes, the last one is the comprehensive list of all excluded studies and justification for the exclusion also, that I should mention. Now, when we call it as a good SLR, systematic literature review. So while formulating your research question, the research question should be very clear. Okay, and there has to be a research questions in your SLR paper. And then throughout the paper manuscript, you are going to trying to answer or address the research question that you have listed in the beginning of the research manuscript. Then you should show that you have, or the process, you should mention there that how you have conducted extensive literature search. Okay, what are the parameters, what are the criteria you have followed for searching, where you have searched, what are the database you have searched, that you should clearly mention it. Then you should have a refined the inclusion and exclusion criteria. You should apply, there is an approach, we call it as a Prisma 2020 or Prisma approach. That also I am going to show you that how you can develop Prisma 2020 diagram or table also. You can even put into the form of table if you are not very good at designing the flow, Prisma 2020 flow diagram. Then how you have extracted the appropriate data and assessed their quality and the validity. The data quality and the validity, the exactness of that, you should also report it. And the final one is that how well you have synthesized, you have interpreted and reported the data in your manuscript. So a well addressed questions through the synthesization, interpretation, and reporting of the outcomes will make your SLR as a very good SLR. And it is very easy to publish also such systematic literature review papers. These are few challenges that we face when we go for literature review. Okay. One is the database bias. There are not, we can say there are multiple databases. We have very popular Scopus, and then we have Web of Science, Abesco host, we have Gestor, and like that we have many databases. Which one to select and which one to ignore. Okay, Now, normally researchers select those database which he or she has access to, right? And that is one database biasness that we commit. Another is the publication bias, wherein there may be publication that show positive treatment of effect and significance, statistical significance, that you are only focusing on that, okay, and ignoring those papers which are having the contradicting findings, or it is not matching with your view. So that may be your publication biased. Only selecting those articles which have positive effect and ignoring those who have a negative effect. Then English language, that I will be showing in some of the sample of the Prisma 2020, wherein you will find everywhere most of the studies that are SLR have ignored English. And the reason is that the researcher may not know other languages, maybe Thai, maybe French or German, that is Spanish. Researcher may not know. So that researcher may not draw, but cannot draw any insight from that article. And that's why we ignore such article. That is the language biasness. And the last one is citation biasness, which occurs when a study with significant or positive results are referenced in other publications. Okay, and we cite those things. Okay, and we cite those things which are there, and many a times we leave the original paper. We do not go and check what exactly the study is there, which I am citing. Only based on the citation, we take the content and incorporate those content in our study. So these are the citation biasness. So these are the challenges that we face most of the time. Many a times we may not have access to the paper, right? For example, we selected 40 papers for the literature review, but we are unable to access few of the paper. Maybe 30 is available and 10 we are unable to access it. So what normally we do, that abstract is available, title is available, and from that we try to summarize the study which, or the paper which we do not have access to, which is again, it is not conclusive, because we are just reading the abstract and then we are synthesizing what is there in the paper. So it's an incomplete review. That is also one challenge. And that, see, every paper costs a lot if it is not, or access is not available. So we ignore that paper also. Now, the attribute of sample selection, coming to the how many articles you should select and which are the articles you should incorporate. So the best attribute or characteristic of document selection is that while selecting the document, it should be very structured. It should be conducted in a order or methodological way rather than haphazard or random way. Better you should follow one approach to select it. Then next is the comprehensive, that is, you should cover all the research or relevant research that are useful or that is related to your studies. Next is the transparency of the selection. How you have selected, what are the methodological steps you have taken to arrive at a particular sample that you should present. Okay, so these are the three sample selection attribute that has to be there in your paper. Now coming to this will show you the attribute of sample selection is in the SLR. The first one you can see when you are going for the systematic research, left hand side, systematic research, guiding research questions. So what are the questions you are going to form for your research? Then how you are going for the document selection. It should be structured, comprehensive and transparent. Then search for relevant research items, that identification, application of non-content related inclusion and exclusion criteria, then go for your screening, that is the organization of a screening process, that how you are going to screen all the documents which are
Excuse me,
listed.
sir. Bijay, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sorry for the interruption, sir. Can you make it on full screen if you don't mind?
It
Actually,
is screen.
for us,
Sir,
it's
Google, this no Google Meet, this much only it comes.
okay. Fine, sir. You
Meet
continue.
and Zoom, it will be full. I'm unable to see you also. There are many limitations on the Google Meet.
Okay, sir.
Rather, I
Fine,
suggest you
continue.
from tomorrow you can use our team. It is very good, if possible.
Team is good, sir. Yes, sir. We'll check
Yeah.
it, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Continue, sir.
Okay. So after identification of the relevant research items or documents, you are going for the screening of it. That which are relevant and which are not relevant, you are going to include those which are related studies for your paper, and those who are not related, you are going to sideline. You are going to exclude them. Okay. Many a times you are going to have a quality criteria also for exclusion of the papers. For example, many a times researcher only take those publications which are in Q1 and Q2 journal. Okay, if it is in a Q3 and Q4, though quality wise it differs, so only for the quality assessment, reviewer or the researcher, they take Q1 and Q2 documents which are published in Q1 and Q2 journals. In management or social science, you will find the researchers, they are using those publications which are in ABDC listed journals. And there also, I have seen people using A star, A and B, ignoring the C also. Because the quality of the manuscript will differ when you select these criteria, quality criteria. And then disclosure of the review sample. You should disclose it, that how you have started your journey and how you have reached to a particular figure. So that you should disclose. This is the attribute of a good selection process of SLR documents or document for the SLR study. Now I am coming to the Prisma flow, 2020 flow. This you should have in your paper. Okay. Now, many of you might not be handy in drawing this, so you can go with the table. The table also you can put and you can write it. So let me start with here. The same thing what you have seen here, that is in a Prisma form. Say if there is already SLR, okay. So you should take the reference of that SLR paper also, which were conducted maybe 5 or 10 years ago, because in the gap of 5 to 10 years, there may be 50 or 100 or 200 papers which are there in the database, and then you can just quote these are the papers which were, or these many papers till this particular year were included in the previous study, and these are the new papers which are going to be incorporated in the current studies. And then you are going to carry out your further process. So identification of new studies by a database or registers. You can mention also how many databases you have used or registers you have used. Then while record is screened, that how many record has come. Now here is the explanation of it, that many a times when you are going for multiple database, there will be duplicates records. For example, an article may be indexed in Scopus also, an article may be indexed in Web of Science also, right? So you need to exclude them, the duplicacy. You should mention that these many papers were excluded, or those were duplicates that were excluded. Then a record marked as ineligible by automation tools. Maybe when you are going for bibliometric analysis or any other analysis, where in software if you are using, like content and for the content analysis or for the bibliometric analysis, if any of the record that is incomplete, there is an error in the data, so that also you should mention the ineligible records which you have removed. Then other records that you have removed because of any reason, that also you should mention. And then you are going for the how many people paper you have screened and how many people paper you have excluded. That number you should mention. Report shout for the retrieval, and after that how many paper remain. So these are the report assessment for eligibility, number of the such reports or records. New studies included in the review, that you should mention here. Report of new included studies, that report also you should mention it. Then when you complete this, then identification of new studies via other methods also, maybe via some organization, some citation, or by some website. So that also you should mention that other than this particular database, we have also visited such these websites or organization, and from there we got the some relevant documents or record related to this SLR or this study. Now the report at the end, report excluded, that you should mention the reason, that also that why you have excluded, reason 1, reason 2, reason 3. And after this all, you should come to the total study included in the review and the report related to that. So this is the complex one. I will make it a little easy for you to understand that this, if you see, this is little easy for you to understand. Okay. Identification in screening and what are the study that has been included. Now I'm showing you this table. Before that, let me show you the sample of it. Maybe this one. So, okay, anyhow, I'll make it large so that this study or research, just to remove the plagiarism, people are using different terms. Search boundaries, database, see where it was searched. Please, if you want to make a note, you note it. I'm going to show you this with the help of Scopus database also. So protocol, where you have searched and which database, search boundary. Then what are the inclusion criteria? They included the article published before Jan 2023, article published in peer-reviewed journals, article published in English language. I told you, the English language biasness. So those studies which are not in English language are excluded. Okay. Those studies which are not in peer-reviewed, that are also excluded. Then exclusion, those studies which are not in line with the domain on which this SLR is conducted. Source of the publication and duplicate articles, that are excluded. Source of the publication based on the quality. Maybe ABDC ranking, I told you, Q1 or Q2, that also you can take. Then how literature search has conducted. In the initial search, 56 in the Scopus, 56 articles were there. Toxic leadership, it is the SLR on toxic leadership, and 56 documents initial. Then total articles excluded were 5. citation chaining research was done. Additional 9 papers were there. Okay. Now, total articles in the database, from the database it was 51. Literature search stage 2 before 4th June 2022. This is the date. And the article, additional article includes 9, which are from the citation chain, and final article in the from the database, it was 51. And on 51 and 9, the total was the 60 articles on which this SLR has been written. I'll show you one more sample. Okay, here itself I'll show you the table, how this table has been prepared. Yeah, I think today only I was looking for some merger and acquisition and the HR practices. Yeah. Merger and acquisition, and after that, what type of the role of HRM. So for that, this data has been extracted, and Prisma approach table it is. You should mention that when you have searched it, because if I do not put the date, the today's date, and if tomorrow some article will be published and indexed, then it will be like confusing that whether that article is included in this study or not. So the Scopus database was used to search, and the search term you can see the merger and acquisition, amalgamation, and HRM and human resource that has been used. Now reject means excluded, except is included. So in the initial search from the database, 393 documents were listed. Now the documents, it's from all the area, every year, everything. It's just a rough figure. Okay, we need to reach to the specific figure, and that's why slowly from the larger number of the documents, we are going to trim based on these documents. We are going to trim based on some of the criteria. So first, exclusion criteria or inclusion, anything you can make it. The article which are published in social science, business management and accounting, arts and humanities, economic psychology, these are only included in this study. Those which are not published in this domain were excluded. So 147 articles excluded and 246 included. Now the next criteria was that quality. Here comes again document types. Articles and review, the papers or document which are in the form of articles and the review, those were included 177, and those who are in different form other than this form were excluded. The number is 69. Further, from 177, based on the language, the article one article it is, which was in Thai language, because morning I was extracting it, that was excluded, and 176 articles which were in our English language have been included. Further, because of the software, here it comes. Based on the software, there were 5 documents which are not eligible. That means there are some mistakes, and those were also excluded, and 171 papers were included for the final study. Now, how to conduct it, I'll show you. We are the VITians are very lucky on this, that we have access to Abesco host, we have access to Web of Science, we have access to Scopus also. So VIT e-gateway I'm accessing. Mohsin sir, just I want to confirm, is it visible? VIT e-gateway?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
It's visible.
brother. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, sir. Now, I told you databases. So we have here bibliographic databases, e-database, books, standard. This any database you can use. Webesco host is also there. Webesco you can use to search the documents. But now I am coming to the practical way. Practically, we use either Scopus or Web of Science, because Scopus and Web of Science have the large number of collections of the published documents, and their quality is also comparatively higher than the other documents. So I am going to see the Scopus. Sorry, I think I missed to log in. Well, this is only, see, if you are going for systematic literature review, this is only to identify the document. The complete document you need to download once you will reach to a specific figure. Okay. So here we are going to search some terms. I want participant to give me the topic for systematic literature. Any keyword, any theme you can give. In the chat box, you can give me. Okay, I'm getting fine. ESG and financial performance, artificial. Let me. Yeah, ESG and financial performance. I'm taking. Now, there are some protocol for searching also. I'll show you. There are 3 Boolean operators. You can see and, or, and not. Okay. So whenever you are using and in between 2 terms, so the Scopus search engine will search those documents wherein both the terms are available. Or if you are using as a Boolean operator to search multiple keywords. So in this case, a Scopus search engine will search all those terms, or any of the terms which is available in the document will be listed. Maybe term A or B or C or D you are searching. Okay. So if A is available, it will list. B is available also, it will list. C is available also, it will list. But in case of and, A and B, so A and B both has to be there in the paper. And whenever you are using and not, that means A and B or and not C. That means A, B, you are considering those paper wherein A and B are there. But you are not considering if C is there and not. After the term and not, if it is there, so you are not going to consider those. So I'm searching it, ESG. Now, as I told you that there is some protocol to search. Why I am binding them into the double quote? The double inverted comma or double quote, if you will not use here. Here, if you will not use, no problem, because it is a single word. But when you have a phrase, group of words, so in that case, you should bind them so that if you put them in within the double inverted comma, so the search engine will treat them and search wherever they are appearing together. All together, those documents will be only listed. Well, so I am using, you can use capital or small, no problem. And because you want ESG and for the financial performance only, right? Search it. I think it is a very new term, but still 468 documents are there. See, 468 documents are there. So we have searched ESG and financial performance. Let us see whether ESG is there. Both term has to be there, right? So you can see either it may be in the abstract or keyword or on the type. Financial performance is also there and ESG is also there, right? So going back, in all the document you will find this is the search within where you want to search this term. So whenever you are going for systematic literature review, always select this field. By default it will come, but if it is not coming, then always you should select article, title, abstract and keywords. And then you can put your preferred keyword or phrase for searching the term. Foreign direct investment. If I do not put any double quote here, see how many figures will come and how it will change. It automatically it is putting and. And there are 24,356 documents. Now what I will do, I'll change it. And search it. 22,724. If you look at the previous search, 24,000. So additional 1,500, 600 documents were there when we were not put this entire phrase within double inverted comma. So whenever you are searching, you should use it. One more rule I will tell you. If I am searching for same thing I will use. Foreign direct investment and India. Okay. This is a single word, so if you put also it's okay. If you not put also this within the double quote, no problem. So you are planning to review the papers which are written. The theme of the paper is foreign direct investment and written in Indian context. Now when I am using India, so people may be writing Indian also, right? Indian market or India. Therefore, if such situation is there, always put asterisk. How it works that whether it is India or Indian, it will treat as whatever the alphabet that comes after this asterisk. It will only try to match this much, and it will ignore the alphabet that will come after asterisk and treat that all the terms which have the first 5 digits, these alphabet same, those documents will be listed. So in that, or financial management or finance management comes, no, financial management or finance terms. So in that case also you can use it. Now what I'm doing, I'm using asterisk. Let us see, is there any change in the figure? So when without asterisk 1,353, when we used asterisk, the star, then 1,467. Okay. The simple protocol that we had discussed, that you should go for the extensive, comprehensive search of the relevant document. So you should not miss. That's why you should try with all the combination, so that you will be able to search all the relevant documents. Now, the next term may be in place of foreign direct investment. What other term may be used by the people? Somebody can tell me? In place of foreign direct investment. Like Atinder Kaur has used.
FDI can be
Yeah,
used.
yes,
FDI,
yes.
FDA.
FDI may be the another term many of the researchers may be using. These are the global, though short form, the acronyms, but global words. FDI. So you should search the document with all the relevant terms that may be used for similar kind of theme, like foreign direct investment, FDI. If any other term is there, that also you should use. I can see here there is a HRM. So it's maybe human resource management, HRM, HR, then people management, workforce management. You should, whenever you are writing for HRM, you should always include all these terms with the help of or as a Boolean operator to search it. Now I am searching it. See, the figure will be changing. 1910. If you look at now what I have done in a paper, the term foreign direct investment or FDI, but in context of India only. So these many. You should also incorporate the economics. Maybe the scholar of economics may know more about this. So you should include all the term.
You can use capital flows.
Yeah, capital flows and other terms also, those which are applicable for this. Now let us see whether these terms are there or not. Just to verify. India is there, foreign direct investment is there. We have used FDI and foreign direct investment as a or, so any one you will find. It may be in the topic, it may be in the author keyword, it may be in the indexed keyword here also. See, India, it is highlighting, or here, abstract. Okay, going back to the result. And not. That those papers which are written in context of India, you want to exclude. $32,155 documents are there, but you have excluded those documents which are written in context of India. It happens many times. You may be trying to study foreign direct investment, but you want to exclude any of the fastest growing country or any terms that you want to exclude. That it is of your choice. Now, when you have a multiple or multiple not, what you can do in that case, you can add a search field and you can use multiple string here. Okay. For example, there are many or. So I can use here and I can put and. Maybe for India, I'm using India or BRICS country, all the BRICS country if you want to include. Then also here you can use, it may be in context of India or context of China or context of Russia, all the BRICS countries, then South Africa, all you should include here. Now you can have an option to, okay, you can have an option to date range for how many years you want to. If the number of documents are very large, you can fix the date, fix the year, maybe last 10 years, last 5 years, last 20 years, that way, or last 2 decades, 1 decade, that way also you can refine. Well, So this is how you can go and search it. Let it be, if I just apply here, maybe after 2000 or after NDA government if you want, or after 2010 you want, you just put it. But whatever the range, whatever the criteria you are putting, there has to be some logic, okay? You should convince the reviewers, then only they are going to accept your views. After 2010, there are 6,164 documents. So these were related to comprehensive search of the article. Now the next term that you are going to do is the inclusion and exclusion. Left hand side, if you look at, these are the parameters or criteria that will help you to apply the specific inclusion and exclusion. I'll tell you, say there are many criteria options are available on the left hand side, but major is your year. In practice, whenever you are writing for the paper, year, subject area, those who are scholars, they can note it down. Year, subject area, document type, language. Okay, these are the four mostly used criteria for inclusion and exclusion of the document. For example, we have already applied for the last 10 years. Now I am going for the first search that we have made. 32,000 something was there. 32,000. So I'm going with the new version. This that is beautifully. This is the same thing. 32,155. Here you can set the range of your document. Maybe last 10 to 2020 or 23. Like this also you can do, and again bring down to 21,216 document in the last 10 years, 12 years. Last 12 years, these many documents are there, and you should be keep on reporting in your here. If you are using year, so you should mention it here as a year and report it. Then subject area, you click on show all, so that you will be able to see all the various subject area. Now who will decide it? You are the right person to decide which are the subject area I'm going to include. Say if you are from a social science, it is better you go with for these four: arts and humanities, economics, econometric, finance, social science, business management, accounting, and arts and humanities. If you are selecting these four, nobody will ask you any question if you are from the social science. Further, if you want to include any of the area, you are free to do it, but you should have a valid reason that why you are taking. For these also you should have a valid reason, but normally the articles of social science are published in these domain, whether it is from business management, accounting, or economics, finance, or arts and humanities. You can approach to these all journals which belongs to these different domains, and they will publish it. If you want to exclude this or include this, because these four I have selected that I want to include, limit to. Now how many documents are left? You should report that 14,800 papers were accepted, remaining rejected. Like this table you should be preparing and writing. Each time the difference that here from the earlier search, that you should report in the rejection, and this picture is your inclusion, acceptance. Now the next is, once we are done with the subject area, we are going for the document type. As I told you that these all are you can conduct review on article, book chapter, conference, review of review papers also, book, editorial note, erratum, retracted papers, conference review, and so on. So normally we take article and review. Why? Because the quality of these papers are higher. Now, how quality of the papers are higher? Articles and review. Articles are double blind, peer reviewed. That means the reviewer doesn't know whose paper I am reviewing, and author doesn't know who has reviewed my paper. That's why you call it as both the side it is blind review. Now somebody can say, sir, conference papers are also reviewed. They are reviewed. The quality parameters and methods are also, we know that how they are reviewed, and it is one side blind. Author doesn't know that who has reviewed, but the reviewer knows that I am reviewing the paper of particular person, and that's why the quality of conference paper is poor than the review and article. You can include conference paper in case there are less number of articles and review. Okay. If there are very less, then you can incorporate you. I'll show you an example of it, that what I got from one reviewer and how I answered it. Let me check. I think here only. I'll show you the sample only for the conference. Author, I'll just increase it. Author mentioned that conference paper were included alongside article and review. Why? Mention the reason. The peer review standard for the articles and reviews are higher than that of the conference paper. Also, conference vary widely in their peer review standards. Okay. Here a description of Scopus index conferences and the reason for their inclusion can be added. Why you have included them. Okay. So how I address this question? The research topic is not yet matured. Therefore, we try to incorporate all publications which were peer reviewed. Hence, total 17 conference papers were considered for final analysis. Only 17 conference paper. And we only included the conference paper which were very much relevant to the current theme of the study, because it was very relevant for this study. That's why we have included it, and were published in Proceeding of IEEE and Springer, which are treated as publishing peer-reviewed conference proceeding, and their standards are better. Okay, so you should have the valid reason that why you have included or why you have excluded them. Well, so coming back to here, whether you want to include or exclude, so click limit to, we are only including articles and reviews. So now we are left with 11,000, and that you are going to again report in this table. The next one, we are going to directly the English language. We have done with the language, it is here. So Russian, Spanish, Chinese and French, we are, if you look at, there are many other languages, Ukrainian, Malay, Turkish and all. As author only knows English language, so you are going to include English, and other you are going to exclude it. Now 11,452. I'll show you the summary of it. This is done. Normally we do it till here and then we go for the refinement of the data. I'll show you the summary of, once you click on the search, it comes here that the initial search was 32,155. After applying the year criteria, that is last 12 years, 21,216 were left. When we, here we did it. Only India as it, no, 1 minute. Subject area, when we applied the subject area criteria, so we left with 14,982, 42. And then after applying the document type as a article and review papers, so we left with 11,947. And the last, when we applied the language criteria, that is English, so further 500 approximately. If you look at this figure in here, 500, and we are left with 11,452. So this is the final figure on which we are going to conduct SLR. But don't look at the figure. What is the range? Nowadays ask me that what is the range, how many papers we can have for conducting SLR. So see, maximum you can go with, there is no limit. Minimum also there is no limit, but normally 15 to 16 paper minimum has to be there. From my experience, I am sharing you, minimum 15 to 16 paper, the final paper has to be there on which you are going to conduct SLR. And the highest standard size is approximately 100. You should not go beyond 125 or 140. Okay. 70, 80 is very good number. Even 50, 60 also a very good number. But more than 100, 150 or 125 you are going, it will be very difficult to report the result and summarize it and making the result explicit. Okay, that's why this is a there is no thumb rule, but still because many of you may be very fresh, so that way you can select your number of documents. Well, so this is the Prisma approach. The figure you can draw, you can just write these figures itself, these figures here, and the sample also I had shown you that you can follow. Now coming to the tips for SLR. How people will get motivated and what is the chance of getting your paper published. It will be decided upon how you have written, the quality of writing of it, and the methodology that you have applied. So the first one is that the research question, or in fact your scope of this study, objective, this should be very motivating. Okay. The reader or abstract also, even in the abstract you mention your objective, your title is there, your objective is there, your sometimes research questions may be in the introduction section, but it should be very motivating. It should motivate the reader. See, editor and editor-in-chief, they are ready to publish your work, and they always look at your topic and the research question, whether it is motivating or not. Because the editor-in-chief, they want that your paper should be read by more people and it should be cited, because if the paper will be downloaded and cited, then the impact factor of that paper will increase, right? The publisher will also be interested because their downloading will increase their revenue, right? The next one, it should be how you are identifying the related literature. The systematic way that I have shown you, always go with the Prisma 2020 approach. There will be no question. And then next one is the balance between breadth and depth, the right balance between the inclusion and exclusion. Why you are including and why you are excluding. That balance you have to, right balance you have to make. Next one is focus on the concept, not the study. For example, You should not focus on only that wherein the studies are having the positive outcomes or favorable outcomes. No. What are the concept on which these studies are conducted? So mainly focus on the concept. Then what is the conclusion? And in conclusion, basically, whenever you are writing or drafting your SLR, the future research direction is very important. The SLR study, the outcome of this study is measured by what are the future research direction you have included. Okay. And whether they are meaningful or not. So the future research direction should be more and very related and meaningful. And the last one is the structure of the article. Whenever you are reviewing the articles, you should follow some standard, like maybe year wise, maybe method wise, maybe TCECM, that is theory, context, concept, or research method wise. So any approach, the article should be coherent. The reader should have a smooth flow, and at the end should find something relevant, insightful from your study. Then it will increase the possibility of publication of your paper. Now I'll show you some of the sample paper. Okay. There are something related to meta-analysis, but I don't think that time will permit. Only SLR I had planned. So I'll share the PPT also, so that I'll share with the organizer. They'll share with you meta-analysis. And okay, just I'll give you the overview of meta-analysis, and then I'll go and show you the sample papers. And last 15 minutes we'll be having for the question answer. You can ask question. I'll be. What is meta-analysis? Say meta-analysis is your statistical technique, and here what you do, you look at to the independent variable and estimate the treatment effect of it. So it's a little technical terms, but I'll tell you that how it works. You may have a 10, for example, you may have a 10 empirical study on a particular theme. Okay, and similar variables are there. So in meta-analysis, you are going to report the average of the estimation. Okay, that in some of the articles or empirical study, a particular variable A might have 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.65. So the average estimation of it that you are going to report. It is like poll of the poll. Many of the news agencies or news media, they conduct poll, and next day you might have seen poll of the poll. That means if Aaj Tak is showing 100 seats, G News is showing 80 seats, India Today is showing 110, maybe Republic is showing 90 seats. So the poll of the poll is your meta-analysis. Okay, the average of it. And whenever you are planning, always keep someone as a co-author. If you have a statistical knowledge well enough, if not, then please have some of the co-author who is having the knowledge of good statistics. Again here, the same thing, that is steps of the meta-analysis, that you are going to define your research question, then literature search, select the studies that you are going to conduct the study or the review, extract the data from their tables or figures, analyze those data and report it. I'll show you the sample also. Yeah, thank you. So PPT is done. I'll show you some of the different type of papers that are written, and also I'll try to show you some of the papers wherein that Prisma is available. Yes, sir. This paper is very good, and I'll share with you. It will help you lots to develop your understanding when to what is literature review and what is not. Both it will help you. Further, it will help you when to write, when systematic literature should and should not be written. Okay, so see, when a substantial body of work in the domain exists, at least 40 articles for the review. Yeah. But still, it is a reference. I'll show you. I have seen many papers wherein 15, 17, or 20 papers are there, articles are there, and they are written. But this author has suggested that when you have at least 40 articles, you can go for literature review. Minimum gap, last 5 years. If you are already SLR is there, but you want to write it, 5 years of gap, or at least new 40 articles has to be there, which are not included in the previous studies. Some of the quality, when you are reviewing CABS, you can use it. Then you can use ABDC for the, like, if already a study is there, okay, but you want to have a SLR on a particular based on a particular quality standard. So ABDC criteria you can choose, or only published in a Web of Science or a Scopus or a CI or with the impact factor and all. These are the methods. ADO, Paul and Benito 2018, that you can TCM, you can use a Paul 2017, TCCM again, or 5W1H framework, or a combination of them also. You can use ADO and TCM method. So these are the method approach that you can use to write it. Here it calls why a literature review, that we have already discussed. Who should and who should not write a systematic literature review. It has also told that who should write and who should not write. This is the Prisma approach it has shown. The assembling, arranging, and assessing of your document. How you are going to assemble it. So identification, acquisition, organization, purification, evaluation, and the reporting. So up till here is the Prisma, where you are going to, after purifying it, and then you are going to evaluate it, maybe bibliometric, maybe content analysis, maybe meta-analysis, or maybe thematic analysis. You can conduct, and then you can report in the form of figure, table, words. You are going to report the limitation and the sources of support of your finding, and that's all. I'll show you SLR sample paper wherein the CCM approach is there. Digital Innovation SME. I think somewhere they have written also that what approach they have used. Here itself it's written that 382 articles published and the year range is there. Now I'll show you how theoretical framework construct. So 1T is here, theories or theoretical framework, and the construct and the study wherein they are used. The summary of it. This is your, again, the process of data selection criteria. I'm directly coming to the theories and model. Which are the theories and model have been used? 10 models, different models. Context. What are the context the existing studies are? The summary of it. It is not, table has not been put up here. Or table number 5 is there. In the table number 5 you can see is. Then third is this another C, context. In what are the context it has been studies, all the papers which have been included. So the context, the countries studies, number of occurrence, economies studies. Okay, Then these major variables are again here. Their summary has been given. Now the last one is the method. You will find somewhere method, environmentalism, digital process. These all in context. Stage of this digital 1 minute. There may be the method, technological antecedents, digital analysis, and the other result. M is they have not used, I think, but it has to be there if they are using some TCCM approach. M is not there, I think. Methods is not reported. So TCC only it is there. Mediator. Here it is quoting that what are the mediator and moderator variables have been used for by the different studies. In a different studies, what are the different mediating and moderating variables have been studied. That's all. And then future. Here see theory, context, method, and maybe these all are the concept in a different concept. So whenever you are developing future research direction, again you are following the same method that you have used. Okay, in bibliometric you do different thing, but in a systematic literature review, again based on the theory, what are the different future research can be conducted in a different context, in a method, and different concept. You should report. This will help you to increase the publication possibility. And the same explanation of, say, the contribution of this author for the future research. And that's why it has published in, I think, Taylor and Francis it is. Provided you should give the limitation and all. Next, I'll show you this sample selection. This I'll share you that there are detailed information about the tips and selection of it. One more is there. This one, the systematic literature review that and after that meta-analysis also. All the table. From the table, I'll show you that what are the things here. This is over of the variable. What are the variables? And their overview has been presented here related to privacy paradox. Now this is completely the theories that are available. All the theories, risk-benefit calculation guided by rationality. Then you can see all theories that are available, different theory of bounded rationality, model of cognition, and where it has been studied, in which paper it is. Everything has been presented about the privacy paradox. This is one table only. Then theory and the definition, adaptive cognitive theory, cognition theory, cognitive heuristic theory, communication privacy management theory, and the definition of it, committee. So all theories related to whatever the study that you are or theme you have, all are presented here. It is the privacy paradox, but you are going to report related theories of your theme. So all you will find a big table, and this is one sample papers for the meta-analysis, privacy concern and privacy management. I'll show you how they are reporting. Selection process document and all will be the same. Directly I'm going to see this will be selection procedure will be the same. There is no change. 166 paper have been included, and the summary of it has given. Publication year 2019 to this one, that descriptive summary, overview of all these studies. I'll come to directly the finding. Privacy concern, peer relationship. Okay. Privacy concern and online use intention. How many number of study? 33 studied was there. Okay. Number of years 36. Now ES, what does it? ES means effect size. Number of effect size 36. The mean, max, average, and total. Similarly, privacy concern, information sharing intention 37, effect size 38, minimum, maximum, and this is the average of this 37 document, 33 document, okay, 9 documents, and that this is the way how you are going for the, if you are going for the meta-analysis. Okay, for all these, it is very tedious job, but yes, if you do it, the publication possibility will increase. Similarly, here you can see the size effect of meta-analysis of now the K value, R value, LL, UL, PE, LL, UL, this Q square, I think R square, I square. So all are there. And this average only. K means how many papers included, 37, 33, 37, 11 and all. And then based on this finding, the results that are coming, you are going to discuss, you are going to write. Now from here it becomes again like your empirical, how you write discussion for the empirical study. Moderating for the moderator variables. Moderator as a culture. And then these are the different findings. Moderator as a culture, gender, moderator as a gender. Then data collection mode, online and offline. Based on that, moderator, okay, that's same thing. And these all are average of the 37 documents or 17 documents and all. Yeah, that's all. You can write bibliometric also, bibliometric paper, but for that I can, it's a complete 4 or 5 hours of session is required. Now I am opening the forum for the question answer. If you have any question answer, you can ask me. We have, I think, 18 minutes. Yeah, anybody has any question, please ask me. You can make use of the chat box. Also, you can ask your question through chat box.
Sir, few
It
questions
happens.
already posted there, so you can also check it.
Systematic literature review in the workshop. It is the one of the we can say boring session always, but those who listen carefully every terms, they can develop the paper and write. 100% I am telling you. I am searching one theme-based paper, the concept-based paper. Meanwhile, you just, if you have any question, please ask me.
Good evening.
Sir Bijay, in this side.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So can you throw some light on how to write a review paper, especially because most of the participants will be PhD scholars, and so can you please explain how to use this SLR, especially to write a review paper, please?
Okay. See, scholars, if you are starting first time, I think I have already explained that how to reach to a particular number of documents. Okay. Once you reach to maybe 25, 30 or 40 number of documents, you are going to download each of the document, complete paper. The complete paper you are going to download. And after that, you develop one Excel sheet. Okay. Read one paper, 4 things. What are the theories applied, model or theory? Next, concept in which or derived in that paper. Context in what it has been studied. So whenever you are going for the context, the cultural setting you should go with, where it has been studied. okay, in which industry it has been studied, and then list out the method. The method comprise of your research design, sampling techniques, sample size, tools and techniques, survey tool, whether questionnaire or observation method. These things has to be there. While understanding the theory or the model, you should list out all the variables. Make the summary of these all for each paper. Okay, for each paper, theory related information, that is the variables, mediating variables, moderating variables, dependent variable, independent variables. Context, industry, scenario, where it has been done, cultural setting, that you should mention. Concept, definition, what are the different key terms and how they have defined that particular context, that you should mention. Sorry, concept. And fourth, method, again I am repeating, research design, sample size, sampling techniques, survey instrument, and analytical tools, that you should make it. Once you will have, prepare 4 tables, TCCM, write the summary of it. Based on this summary that you understanding you have, develop the future research and write the conclusion. Your paper is ready. This is very simple way to write. Always use some method. Once you have the Prisma table, after that you are going to do it. I hope I have made it clear. The same thing has been shown here in this paper I was sharing with you. Let me show you once again. The paper also I'll share with you so that in future you can use it. Yeah. So, once this the Prisma was over, this one minute. Then it started with the listing. From that Excel you can list it. How many paper has used technology organization environment as a model and theories? Diffusion of innovation as a theories. TAM model, resource-based view. Okay, what are the variables they have used and where from, what are the research studies? I mean, what are the paper citation you can put it here. Once you have that Excel sheet with you for the 30 papers or 40 papers, you can easily organize this table. Now you are going to interpret it. In context, table may not be there, but you can write the summary in what are the different contexts the papers are available. Talking about the content, then once you have the papers with you, that summary of the papers, then you can write it. In East Asia, how many papers are from, and Europe Central. Similarly, country study and number of occurrence. So in East Asia and Pacific, these are the papers and their occurrence, that is Belgium and Bangladesh, Australia, 15 papers. So this summary you will get easily from that table. Then owner or manager as a antecedents of digital innovation. So you will have all the variables. Variable column also you are going to make. Independent variable, dependent variable, and mediating and moderating variable. With the help of that, you can develop this one. Technological as an antecedent, again, where in what are the study it has been used. Similarly, organizational as an antecedent variable, environment as an antecedent variable. It will be easy for you to develop and then summarize it. Then based on again TCCM, you are going to write this summary of future research direction. I hope it is clear to the scholars also. And I want from the scholar, if you have still doubt, please precisely ask where you want me to highlight.
Sir, we have few questions in chat box also, sir, in call messages.
Yeah, I'm going with the chat box. Nisha Khan, I don't want to confuse you because bibliometric analysis, if you ask me, my expertise is there also, and more than 70 to 80 session I have taken on bibliometric analysis. If I tell you just summary, you will get confused. Better you should attend a complete workshop. And from 22nd, we are also organizing from the VIT Business School. There is a another workshop where in 2 days session I am going to take on a bibliometric analysis using R Studio and VOSUA both software. So I request if you can enroll there, it will be better for you. Just if you want overview, I'll tell you bibliometric analysis is performed on bibliographic data of published documents. Okay. Again, you are going to extract the data set from this. The process still Prisma, it remains same. After that, the direction of bibliometric study will be entirely different because the analysis will be performed on bibliographic information of the document. What justification would give for Prisma 24 marketing paper as it is mostly used in the medical field? Washim Raja sir, can you, if you can ask this question because I am not getting what justification for what you are asking. In a Prisma, I have taught many things. So, what is specific? If you can highlight, it will be easy for me to answer. Yes.
Sir, why we are using the Prisma framework basically? Why not
See,
Spark
Prisma. See, Prisma is nowadays, if you ask me, it's a globally accepted. Okay, and it provides a very clear or a very scientific process that how researcher has started journey for searching the documents or related papers and why it has reached to a specific figure. So in the process, see, Prisma is this shape. Okay, you started with a wider and then you reach to a very small figure. So that entire process is well explained in the Prisma diagram, flow diagram, and that's why you should also use. Yeah, medical field. See, if you ask me, the SLR started with the medical field. Bibliometric started with the medical field, but today it is used in every field, in marketing or anything. Yes, sir. I hope I have made clear.
Yes.
Perception and set. Okay, these are the topics. Huh? First of all, thank you for the wonderful say. I have a query on bibliometric. Is there any minimum number of articles required to conduct bibliometric? Yeah, R Studio was your this. Though I have not covered, but I'll tell you, Dr. Thomas. Bibliometric analysis, it's a moreover playing with the bibliographic data, and again there is no thumb rule, but most of the paper you see, you will find that they are using more than 125-30 articles, and maximum figure if you go, you will find up to 600-700. But what I advise normally, minimum, okay, you are very keen to apply or conduct bibliometric analysis, 70 to 80 papers has to be there. Okay, and then maximum you can go with the 700, but the ideal size is 150 to 300. If you have 150 to 300 range, the outcomes, the results that will come, it will be very easy for you to interpret and summarize and synthesize them. Whether it is R or VOSP or any software you are using, no issue. See, AI tool, you can use it, Pradeep Chauhan sir, but it will not give you better result. It will not give you better result. If you chat GPT or generative AI you are using, because it will, you have to, Sanmunga Priya, can you mute yourself? Mohsin sir, do we have, okay, can you mute her? Yeah. Where are you? Chat GPT and generative AI, they are not giving the relevant whenever you are writing paper also. Those, though people have written that, claim that Chat GPT and your generative AI can be used for writing and developing paper, but it is not giving the explicit results. So I don't think that it will be useful. Yeah, for literature writing you can go with, but SLR you cannot write. Yeah, Bibin Bosch, air records, you want me to show you? Yeah, I did downloaded that, right? See, I don't have sample of it, but give me 1 second. I'll try to get you. If in my download, if there is something, I'll try to give some example of it. Okay. The error records. Okay, I'll show you. Let me share the screen. Okay, this is the complete data I have shared. I have downloaded 1969. 1969. Here you can see. Now I want to see how many error records are there. See, these articles, around 32 articles, it doesn't have author name, author ID, and related information. Some of the article you will find which does not have even many things. So these are the error you need to remove from your study. You need to remove, whether you are going for bibliometric or you are going for SLR. These doesn't have complete information. Now, how you will find this paper? Even title is there. No, not even title is there. See, title is something international conference on. So this title is there, but why it is not appearing? Because it may be the book chapter. It may be the book chapter. An entire book has been indexed, not the individual chapter, and that's why it is an error. And you should exclude it. Then okay, no issue. This Sarumul is. I'll share the brochure with Mohsin sir. Mohsin sir may post that brochure in this group. Those who are interested, they can join. For learning bibliometric analysis using VOS Viewer and RStudio both.
Okay, sir. So we will do, sir.
Okay. Priya Sirdhan, yeah, you can make use of conceptual papers also, no problem. Your email ID and all. Nisha Khan is asking email ID. So I request Mohsin sir, you can put my email ID in the chat box. Okay, chat box I am putting. I have that option. Even I can put it. So I am putting my email ID. You can also take from the organizer. Thank you. That's all I think I have. Sample paper, Hana, Safik, I'll be sharing all these, whatever I have shown you with the organizer, they will be sharing with you. No issue, I'll share everything. Even PPT also, you can teach, if you want somewhere, you can take my PPT and you can teach also, no problem.
Sir, we
But
need
don't
PPT
remove.
also.
Yeah, but do not remove my affiliation or else I will claim for
No,
the
no.
copyright.
No, sir. You share your PPT as it is. We will share to
Everything I'll
because they are
share.
in need.
It's
Yes.
I
Thank
and
you, sir. Even some
my everything are public property.
some sample paper also. Some of
Yes,
the learners
sure,
are asking. So please, that will
sure,
be
sure.
really helpful for us.
Yeah, any other thing? I have gone through the questions all that are listed. If still I have missed anything, please ask me the question.
Is there any question? Anything you please ask?
I
Hope
think over.
we don't have any question. All questions got clear here. So now I think we should start the remaining process
Closing.
of winding up this session. So let me start. Dear distinguished guests, first of all, I would like to express our sincere appreciation to all those who have made this event possible. It is with great pleasure and a sense of gratitude that I present before you today to deliver this vote of thanks. We have just concluded an enlightening and inspiring workshop session on the systematic literature review by our expert Professor Vijay. So I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to you, Professor, and your knowledge, your expertise, your passion have been instrumental in making these workshop sessions truly remarkable. Your commitment to sharing your insights and experiences with us has undoubtedly enriched our understanding of the subject matter and motivated us to explore new horizons. I would also like to express our gratitude to all the participants who attend the workshop sessions. Uh, your active engagement throughout the contribution and eagerness to learn have created an atmosphere of collaboration and intellectual growth. Your enthusiasm has also been that driving force behind the success of this event, and we applaud your commitment to personal and professional development. We are deeply indebted to our organizing team, especially Dr. Manoharan M., who Dean School of Social Science and Language, Professor Dr. Selvam V., Associate Dean of School of Social Science and Language, and the head of the department, Dr. Geeta R., and whose generous support and contribution have made this workshop possible. Your belief in the importance of knowledge, sharing, and continuous learning has made a significant impact on the lives of all the participants. We are truly grateful for your unwavering commitment to fostering the educational initiatives and nurturing the talent. A special word of thanks goes to our faculty also, research scholar whose tireless efforts, meticulous planning, and the attention to detail and have ensured the smooth execution of these workshop sessions. Your dedication also had and your hard work behind the scenes have not gone unnoticed. And we appreciate your commitment to create an exceptional learning experience for all. In conclusion, let us remember that knowledge is a powerful tool that empowers us to grow, innovate, and shape a better future. This workshop session have provided us with a valuable insights and practical tools that will undoubtedly contribute to our personal and professional development. As we move forward, let us continue to apply what we have learned and share our newfound knowledge with others, fostering a culture continuous learning and collaboration. Thank you once again to everyone who has played a part to it make this workshop a resounding success. Your contribution have made a lasting impact, and we look forward to you in future endeavors together. Thank you, and have a wonderful evening. Thank you all.
Sir, thank you, sir. Mohsin Khan, all the best.
Thank you, sir. So kind of you, sir. Thank you so much.
Dr. Jindu, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you for inviting and for this opportunity.
Sir,
Thank
thank
you,
you, sir. Binju, sir, you have presented excellently. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Thank you,
Huh?
sir. Thank you
Thank
very
you, sir.
much.
Now a student understood the
Thank you,
systematic review
sir.
of literature.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, sir. Bye. Have a nice day.
Okay, sir. Bye, all of you. Please
Thank you so much, sir.
stop.